welcome to our Reba Rose Creations show this morning. I'm going to put us down just a little bit, make sure you can see the surface. So welcome to my YouTube friends, welcome to my Facebook friends this morning. So we're going to do this beautiful Santa today, and we're going to do some blending. So this is going to be a how-to blend paint for your background. So I know I've been doing a little bit of it, but I had people say I would love to learn a little bit more about blending. So that's what we're going to do today. Let me grab a little other paint that I forgot to get out. I meant to grab that. So let me get that real quick. I may have gotten most of what I wanted already out. I did. Good. I thought I did. So we'll take a little bit of this. We're just going to get our palette where we have some paint out on it. Good morning. Hey, John. I'm going to put a little bit of the glazed donut out. And I think the weather change certainly affects paint sometimes. So I'm going to put a little bit of the glazed donut. That's what's kind of in the background of our print here, our papers. That. I'm going to put a little bit of Prosecco, which is a metallic paint. A little bit of Prosecco. Let me get us a wipe here. So a lot of you made a comment that y'all would like to know a little bit more about blending. So I said, let's do a little bit of that and help you learn a little bit more about blending. Now I'm taking a little bit of that sour apple. Sour apple, that's a green. And you see it's kind of a bright green. And I do have another one of those. I've just gotten some paint in. And then we're going to do a little bit of our chocolate soufflé because I'm going to be mixing those together. A little bit of it. And that's gotten some ookies in it, so I'll have to pull that out. They start getting some ookies when they get toward the bottom. So we use that. We got a little bit of pink. So I've got a little bit of the cotton candy. He does have a little pink. We will have to probably darken a little bit. So I'm going to use a little bit of it. Just put a little bit of it out. And we do have a little bit of this. So Peridot, which is another metallic. So I do use several metallics in this to get that going. And let's see what else we've got. And let's get a little bit of the gold. And that is the 24 karat. That's another metallic. I'm going to put it right there. I don't know how much of it we'll need. We'll put that down. You'll be using it. And let's see, what else did I have? The green. And maybe a little bit of the Crimson Tide, which is kind of a red, but we might need a little bit of that to mix with our pink. So I'm going to put a little bit of that out. That's also a metallic. So you've got a metallic in the Crimson Tide, 24 karat, Peridot, all of those, and our Prosecco. Those are all metallic paints, so they're going to have a little bit of a shine. And that's going to be fine for this print. All right, let me move this back a little bit where that gives you a little room here. All right, and we're just going to use a canvas because I'm still looking for some frames. Hope I can go by and check for that day. I'm going to go up to the thrift store also this week and hopefully find a few frames there. But we're going to go ahead and put our print on. Then we're going to worry about the background and just mix it in. And then I do have a little bit of crackle as well. So we're going to move that off. I'm going to go ahead and use just some Mod Podge. And put that on the background. Hey, Amanda McCollum, how are you today? Hey, Crystal. Hey, Stella. Good to see you. I've got another one of these coming in today. So I've got more. I've ended up liking this Mod Podge, y'all. I have. So I've been using it. So let's get a little bit of that on our background. And it's okay if we get over a little bit because that won't hurt anything. I'm not going to worry about painting this canvas. This one actually has, it said it has a seal on it of, I've forgotten what that stuff's called, like gesso or something. So it did already have that on there. This was some that I found at these did not come from the Dollar Tree. So they already had some of that on there, and that's going to help protect it. We'll just put that on, and we might end up needing a little bit more. Let's go ahead and turn this iron on real quick. I forgot to turn it on. It doesn't take it but a minute. Now I put it about not quite halfway because that seemed to be a little bit hot. I always dry mine just a little bit. Hey, Mary T, how are you? Thank you for those hearts. Hey, Marsha, good morning. Hey, Diana and Lisa. Good to see y'all today. Thank y'all for joining me. Grab your coffee or your tea or whatever you're drinking this morning. I'm still drinking my coffee. It is cold here. Got him. And this is our gorgeous print. And I will put the SKU number up there, y'all. They did an update on the Yahoo Mail. Whether you wanted to or not, they updated it. And it is so jumbled and such a mess. I don't know whose idea it was to change whatever they changed. You can't even get to your folders or anything. So I had the number for this in my folder, but I, of course, can't get to it. So I tried, but I tell you, it's going to be one big... I wish they would just leave things alone. Sometimes they change things. They think it's better. It's so hard to maneuver it now. You used to just click on your mail and go straight in. You can't do anything anymore with that. You got to search for it. You got to keep clicking something else. It's not anything like it used to be, and I'm not liking the format of it at all, and it was not up to me. They just changed it. They just said, we're doing a Yahoo update. I didn't do any updates and anything for it. So now it's even harder to do. So if you have not been to Reba's page, go on over there. Let me make sure I've got it up over here. It was still twirling. And you joining me on Reba's page, good morning and welcome. Okay, hold on, y'all. It wasn't even there. Now it's showing live. It was not showing live. Here we are. Now I can see if y'all make comments over there. But y'all be sure that you're following Reba's page, because that's where you're going to find all the updates. And either Reba or Lisa will let you know a lot of the updates and things that Reba has when she has new prints and things like that. Also, if you didn't know, she has a membership. So you can go in and join $9.99 a month. She sends at least 4 prints a week, usually more than that. Reba's very giving, so she gives a lot more than she receives herself. So she's going to be putting more than 4 each week, sometimes 8 different ones. $9.99. Those prints you're not going to find on her website. Now, at the end of the month, she might put some of them on the website, but you have a month to use them before she's going to put any on the website. So just enjoy those, and $10 a month, and then you have, that many per week, y'all. So you're going to have more than 4 a month. You're going to have 4 per week usually. So she does, and she puts those on her page, and she has a certain way for you to be able to see them if you have joined the membership. Okay? Subscribers only can see it. I saw one little place right here, y'all. Let's get that right there on the edge. Okay. And then she also has a rewards program, so check that out as well. So that's the housekeeping today. So he's looking handsome already. Now you'll see a little shiny right here and up in here. I'm going to put a little bit of crackle right there, so that's why that looks like that. We will get that on in a little while. So we're going to start with our background. We're going to kind of blend in the colors. We've got some browns in there, some creams. You've got some writing in the background. If you don't see that, it looks like writing from ads and things like that. That's what that looks like. So we're going to just kind of play with some colors and see if we can kind of mix those in a little bit. And I'm just going to take a little short dry brush I have from the dollar store. I kind of like to do mine, kind of swirl it in. So we're definitely going to be using this cream, and this is the glazed donut. It's almost this color, And we'll see if it looks too dark, and if it does, I'm gonna put a little bit of the cream puff in there. So you just kind of have to sometimes mix your colors to get what you want. But don't be afraid to mix. Don't be afraid to mix your colors. That's how you get the colors that are in your prints, because sometimes your paint may not be exact. Now, I use Paint Pixie. A lot of the colors I use in Paint Pixie, I know what to mix to get what I need. But you can use any paint. I just love the way this paint does to help blend. So you see that this is going to be good here. And I'm pretty much going to use a lot of that around and then blend the other colors in. So let me show you how well this looks. See how well that glazed donut mixes in? Okay. Now we might get a little bit right here on the edge. That's okay, because we also have a brown. Remember, we do also have a brown. So I'm just going to take a lot of this right down, kind of put this toward the background. And I am going on the edge of my print as well, because I want to cover up those little white paper that you have on the edge of that. So y'all, I just learned from other people how to blend, and this is exactly what I learned, was just go in and go for it. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit here on the side. This can be put in a frame, or you can actually do it up, put a hanger on the back and just do it just like this. All right, so we got that pretty far. And we're going to take a little bit. I'm going to get 2 brushes because I don't want to get the darker colors on here. Now, if you have these and they kind of got a little bit of hard on the outside, because these are so inexpensive, just take your scissors and cut your edge off. Just cut the edges of it off. You're not going to hurt it because it's an old brush. They're just the inexpensive brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that brown. I'm going to take a lot off because I may not want a lot of that. And let's see if we can just kind of, your paint's wet. Yes, your paint is wet. I'll put a little brown in there. Now, to me, it looks like it has a little bit of gray. So I'm thinking I'm going to mix some of that gray. Let me see if I have it. I got a new one. I told y'all I had this color. I knew I did. This is called Mud Pie. It's a little bit darker gray. Let's put a little bit of that out. It's almost a black gray. Almost a black gray. Hold on, it's not shook up good. This is a brand new bottle. Okay. All right, I got a little bit of that out because I think we might use a little bit of it. So let's take a little bit of that gray, tap it off a little bit. Let's get it mixed just a little bit. Got a little paper towel here. I'm just going to take it and take a little bit off. Don't want it too dark. Too dark. Oh, yeah. Now you will see that this is kind of the color we need. Don't be afraid to just try things. Don't be afraid to try things. If you mess it up, you can paint over it. It's just paint. It's just paint. Now I'm going to show you how much that kind of, need a little bit more of that. That was, shake it a little bit more. It just hadn't been shaken up. There we go. Now I've got my color. Take a little bit more off. Don't be afraid to take some off. Hey, Cruz. Hey, Mary. You love it. Isn't he handsome? I think he's called Pink Santa or something to that effect. This is one of the, this is made by, I believe this one's by Adorabelle, which is one of the artists that is on Reba's site. She's got a couple of artists on there that also do things. And now you see how that kind of blends that side edge right there a little bit better. A little bit better than the brown. So I kind of just covered the brown up a little bit with that gray. We are going to be adding some more in, and we'll be blending some more on that. And we'll go all the way around and do that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in here and there. And we will add more. You can also take some of what you took off right here and use that. You don't have to just keep loading your brush. You can kind of use what you had. And we will go all the way around with that color. So we're going to come back in with a little bit more of this glazed donut. And I'm going to go back over a little bit. Kind of have to go back over it some, kind of to get it like you want. Sometimes it may not be exactly what you want. And if it looks a little dark, you can kind of add a little bit more in. So I'm going to add a little bit here and there, and you'll see what I mean about adding a little bit more of that in. Now, y'all, it might look like a hot mess for a while. Then just keep blending, blending, blending. See that? Okay. We will add some of the other colors in. I'm just trying to get some of our basic color here, right in here. Have to blend it and see what works best. And sometimes those colors you picked out aren't exactly what you need. So just go back, wipe it off, paint over it, and it'll be fine. So I'm just painting over all of that. I'm going to take a little bit more of that gray and put a little bit more of that back in and fix that on that side. So sometimes it's just a learning curve of what you need to do. And that's okay. You see, it's just paint, just paint. Just paint. So we don't have to be too worried about it. Let's take a little bit more of that Prosecco, which is our metallic paint. Let's put a little bit of it in. That's going to kind of give it a little sparkle here and there. I think that'll look good. That kind of fixed some of that too. I kind of like that. That looks good. Let's put let's go ahead and go around with some more of our glazed donut. Y'all thinking, so if y'all don't hear me finish my statement, I might just be thinking about something. Y'all know my brain's going a million different things. So I am going to put some of the green in there. So I'm going to mix a little, I'm going to put a little bit of this metallic Peridot, and that's going to be in a little bit. Let's see, that might have to let that dry up just a minute. I'm going to put a little bit of it right over in here, because here's your flowers. Right here's your flowers and that color. So I'm taking a little bit of that green Peridot and mixing a little bit of it in, right in there. I'm going to let that dry just a minute. I might dry it because it's kind of got a lot of paint where I kind of fixed it there. So let's take a dryer and let's dry that a little bit so that we can put some more paint in there. But it's still blending fine. It's still looking good. And then I'm going to take a little bit, while I'm drying this, I'm going to take a little bit of the apple green and our chocolate soufflé and get us a little bit of a sage color. Put a little bit more of a sage in there. So let me get a little bit of that. Don't need but a tad of brown to get that sagey color. Just a little bit of brown there. Okay. I'm going to leave that with the light. I think that pink, I'm going to rinse that one out. Okay. Taking a little bit of that sage color. This is our sage. It's that apple green. Now I'm going to pounce that in right in here. And see where I put the sage in? Now you can see that that sage from those florals mixes in right in there. And that kind of fixes some of the ooky that we have there. Putting a little bit down in here. And I'm not going to worry about the pinks. We're okay without the pinks. We do have a little bit of almost a burgundy pink in there, but not a dark, just a little bit on your highlights. So you could use a little bit of those. So we could take a little bit of the other metallic paint, and this one is the Crimson Tide. Put a little bit of that in there. Not a lot. Not a lot, just a little bit, just on the edge here. That kind of blends in a little bit of that that's in the middle of the flowers. See how I just put very, very little in there, just a little bit. So if you are going to try some blending, I'd like to see a heart. Let's see if our hearts will work today, y'all. They've not been wanting to work. They work a little. I saw it trying. There we go. You just have to kind of give it a little time there. So just putting a little bit of that red in that Crimson Tide is making it look pink in there. So that added a little bit of our pink that we needed. So let's go on around, and we're going to be adding some more because I do want to add more of the grays and everything. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this out. And now I'm going to go back to that glazed donut, and I'm going to go ahead and go up with it on the sides here. That is blending on in there. There's a little bit of pink coming out of it. I didn't get all the pink out, but that's okay because you got pink. It's that middle color. That'll be fine. We're going back over it. Okay, so now we've gone back with our glazed donut and got all that on the sides. Now let's go back in with some of our grays. So we've got both grays. I'm going to go with this little darker gray, the mud pie, and I'm going to go in a little bit with it because the sides of your print do have this color. And I'm just going to blend a little bit of that. Without it being too much. Without being too much. Then let's take, and I just try to get some off of it. And then I'm going to take this lighter gray. And I'm going to pounce it in places. Just going to kind of put it around the edge a little bit right in here. And then I'm going to go back to the glazed donut and get back with it. And I'm going to put a little bit of it. Take a little bit more of that dark gray. Fix it up in here. That was the mud pie. I'm going to go back in with it right here on the edges. And then I am going to add some more of that green because I do like the green sage. Y'all know a lot of these prints do have the sage in them. You've got that in your flowers, so you definitely can use it because you do have it in your flowers. I'm going to put a little bit more down in here, a little bit right in there on that edge, and right here more over that pink. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that gray again. This is that lighter gray. I'm going back in with it, some right in here that we just need a little color. Okay, let's get this off. Let's get our green off. Now let's take the darker gray and let's pounce it just a little bit right in places, just barely touching, and kind of giving it a little bit more of a dark in places. So I'm liking it. You may not be your thing. Definitely do you. Okay, let's put a little bit of gold in there. Let's use a little bit of that gold now. So this is the 24 karat gold. And you notice that he does have a gold. It looks like a sword to me. A little bit of that. So we're going to add just a little bit touch of this 24 karat in here as well. And that's going to give him some good background highlights. I love Santas too. My mother loves Santas, and it got me liking them once I got her collection. I had to get rid of some of them, but I do have still a lot of her old. She liked the old world Santas. I'm liking the gold on there. That's kind of giving it a little bit of highlight. I'll show you in just a sec what we're doing with that gold. Let me get a little bit of pounce right there and right in here. So blending is not a hard thing. It's just time consuming. So time consuming more than anything that you just have to keep painting over sometimes. And you just have to be patient with it. You'll get it like you want. You'll get it like you want. It just takes a little bit of time just to blend where you want. And it's all about what you like, what you like. So that background's looking a little bit dark, but it's making the print pop with that, with having a little bit of dark. Now we can go back in with a little bit of our glazed donut and blend that back on top in places that you think might look a little dark. A little bit on the edges, a little bit on the corner, not a lot, just kind of, you know, and then use your finger if it looks like too much. And then just kind of go back in with it a little bit and bring that back. Not a lot of it, but just enough to kind of give it another little highlight there. So I'm liking the background. It might be too dark for you, and if it is, then just like I said, go back in with your glazed donut, lighten it up a little bit in places. You might like it better to where it's not so dark. Totally up to you. I think it kind of makes him pop to me. So that's what I have. Y'all give me a heart if y'all are liking it. And then I'm going to go back around these sides and do all of those in case I don't frame this. I'll go all the way around each of the sides. Hey, Sibs, how are you today? Good to see you, Sybil. All right. I think I'm liking it. I'm liking it. You're liking it? Great. So now I do have some little crayons, and these are pixie dough from Paint Pixie. Here's the mold. Y'all can find my link down on the link tree for that. I use a lot of the Paint Pixie products. I love the paints with Reba's prints. They just do well. Here's the little crown. My husband said this one would look the best because he said this is St. Christopher, and he needs the one with the little cross. So we're going to paint this up in that gold. Let me get us another brush here. I do. I love her brushes too. I have a lot of the brushes. Okay, let's get to make sure this one's good. Let's take a little bit of our 14 karat gold. I'm going to paint this up. And this is a bright gold, but it's also got a little bit of the darker gold in it, so you could use it for either one you needed to use it for. I'm just going to paint that up really good. And I did my molds last night, and the best thing that I do for this pixie dough is I take it, I put it in my mold, and I put it in my freezer for at least 20 minutes, and then they pop straight out of the molds. It is a flexible material, so it does flex so that you can put it where you want it. Look how pretty that's looking. Isn't that pretty? I'm loving that gold on there. That's going to look good. We're going to put him a little crown because I say he's Father Christmas, St. Christopher, whatever that you would like to call him. Santa Claus, he goes by all of those. All right, let's leave this over here to kind of dry a little bit, and let's decide. I'm going to take this and move it. I just touched the edge of that. That's all right. I'm going to go back. I'll just put a little bit of that paint while it's in my brush because I just messed up that edge a little bit. There we go. I'm going to dry that good. Okay, and then I'm going to decide what else we might put on here. I'm going to get me another white. I don't know what I did to my hand. I hit it, and you know, my skin's old, and it just, so I'm having to keep it doctored and Put a Band-Aid on it. Who knows? Who even knows what you do? All right, maybe he's dry enough. We'll do a few things with him now. Let me get a little bit of the B7000. See if this one's got enough in it. I like these little ones because that way you're not getting all the way to the end and have where it doesn't work anymore. Those big ones just go out too quick for me. I'm just going to use some of this one. I'm putting it where I'm not going to put hot glue. There we go. Okay, I'll put that back a little bit. Let me take the right because this is really hot and helps stick. Oop. Have to be careful though, it does squirt out pretty quick. I just like that jewel there to give him some more. I do like the jewel on there. I still can go around the crackle, around the edge of it, so that won't be a problem. All right, y'all, do y'all think he needs, as you're drying these things made of pixie dough, don't put your heat right directly on it. Hold your heat up as you're drying it and keep it moving so that you don't melt it. You think some jewels on his crown? Yeah, I can get some out. I can get some out and do that. Absolutely. Hey, Eva. Oh, Vicki, I'm using pixie dough. Let me show you what it looks like. A lot of you may not have seen pixie dough before. Let me get one that's open because I've got tons down here. It looks like this, and it's also a molding clay. So you can sculpt it, you can mold it. I've made all kinds of things like with it, pumpkins, little candy canes, different things like that with it. It looks like marshmallow cream. If you've never used it, it's different than anything I've ever used before. And the first time I used it, I said, you know, this stuff's pretty cool. But the great thing about it is that you can take it, it's still moldable. It'll mold, it folds, it molds that easy. Here's the crown. And you take it, put it in your any kind of silicone mold, put it in your freezer for 20 minutes. You can pop them right out and then they can dry, and it looks like this. It looks like a sculpting clay, like marshmallow. That's what it looks like. It says it's fluffy like a marshmallow is what it says on the bag. But you can get this, it's not real expensive, and you can get that from my Paint Pixie link. And I like using the pixie dough. I've got several that I like to use, but I do like the pixie dough, and I do like that it moves. So let's get this put on there. Now you want to use either some wood glue or some tacky glue, something like that. Don't use hot glue to put these on. Any molds that you have, don't use hot glue because hot glue will come right off, y'all. Let me get this ookie out of here, and I think I can still use some. I got a new one. I did get a new one. And this one's pretty much dried up. Let me just get the new one out. I'll see if I can get some more out of that, but let's just see if the new one's open. Yep, I got it open. Let's see if we can get it. This one will work great because it's, do I have to punch the end? Guess I have to cut that off. I haven't used it. Yes, you do. Hold on. There we go. Yep, it just didn't have the end off. Now I'm going to tell y'all, when y'all have this glue, you have to kind of store it upside down. Wipe it off before you put the top back on. And then store it on its side or up and down is the best way to use it. I had not opened that. I thought it was open. Hold on, I'm going to stick it over here, back in it where it goes. That keeps it upright. If you don't keep it upright, it kind of gets stuck. So that's the best thing to do. So then I'm just going to take it. Let's get it right here on his head. Let's bring it down just a little bit. Let's see if I got it where I want it, y'all. I want it to be down just a little bit. There we go. Y'all, did you think stones on it? We'll try a couple of these and let's see if they'll show up. That's the top. It sticks to everything but what you want it to. I've got plenty of these so we can get more out. Let's see, let's put a couple, like right maybe in there. Hold on, y'all, get that glue off a minute. Get some new glue. There we go. The only thing about this V7000 is that it dries up so easily. That's why I get the little, like these little ones. These came with the stones. There we go. Let's see now if we can get that to stick. I think I like these. I think some of the sizes got mixed up in here. They'll show up. They show up. Knuckle does give it a little sparkle, so that'll work on that. All right, I think that's good on those. We'll just put those up there right now, out of our way. All right, so we are going to finish up with our crackle over here, but I'm going to go ahead and you see that you got shiny. Now, the first thing I did is I took my I took a decor varnish because this is the classic crackle. I went ahead and put a varnish on there. I do that with either crackle that I do. And you can use water base on the fine line crackle, but this one has to have a different top coat, so you have to use that. So I did the one. We're now going to do the two. Hey, Kelby, how are you? Hey, Vicky. Good morning. No bow. No bow. Okay. Hey, Joy's Crazy for Crafts. How are you, Lisa? Good to see you, sweet friend. All right, let's get our stick here. Let me go ahead and stir that up. So you want to stir it up well. And y'all, I sometimes have a good luck with this, sometimes I don't. Now, the reason I'm not doing the whole thing crackled is that I saw Mara from Vintage Retail by Mara. That's where I buy my products. She just took and did just a few places with it to make it look old world. And I loved the way it looked. So I said, I'm going to try that. I'm stirring it really, really well just in case. You want a nice, clean, dry brush. I've got brushes that I only use for this. I keep them washed up, let them dry, and I don't use them for anything else. And I've got them right here. So I keep these kind of brushes, and I don't use them for anything else. And I'm going to try putting it on here. And I just did the roses and around the roses, the leaves. That's all that I did. So I did not do the whole thing. And I'm trying to put it on like I watched her, and hopefully it'll come out well, but sometimes I don't have real good luck with the crackle. And then there's a little bit right up in here. Trying to make sure that I've got plenty of product on there. And I just did this little part right up here. Just paste on there by Pentart. And that's what I have for you today. I like him. He's handsome, isn't he? Well, I thank y'all for being here with me today, and I hope that you learned a little bit about how to do your background and how to blend it in. I probably will go back. I'm never satisfied, so I kind of go back in and put a little bit more here and there. But I do like the way it came out, and I do like the gold on there. I kind of think that really kind of helps it stand out and makes our print kind of pop with a darker background. So I hope that y'all enjoyed that today. Thank you for joining me. If you're on my YouTube, I appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching me and you're not following me, go ahead and touch my face. Don't hit me, just touch my face, and you can follow me there as well.